Before we start this, credit where credit's due to Jack Warren 04 on Twitter, who gave me this video idea for the US style draft system in F1. So today I'm going to be going through all 10 F1 teams, picking 20 drivers in the reverse kind of draft style system they use a lot kind of in American sports. And if you don't know what a draft system is, basically there's a roster of talent. It's usually kind of young talent in sports, and all the teams in a league pick one player each, or two or three, but they do it kind of typically in reverse order. So the worst team gets the first pick, for example. So they've done this in F1 esports. Simon Weigang got first pick for HAAS, for example. I'm doing it in order of how I think the constructors are going to finish this year. So Williams are a safe bet for being last, and Mercedes safe bet for being first. So Williams will get the 1st and 11th pick, and Mercedes will get the 10th and 20th. It'll make sense as we go. You know, you can't imagine that HAAS are going to take on a Hamilton and Verstappen, for example. They haven't got the budget for that. So, you know, maybe smaller teams do get bigger drivers, but then they'll offset it by getting a cheaper driver or a pay driver to kind of branch the gap, because I'm pretty much opening this to anyone. So I might be bringing a few names back that maybe we haven't seen in F1 for a while or at all. Do I think this system would actually work in Formula 1? No. Do I think it'd be fascinating to see, though, if this actually happened in real life? For that second seat, maybe? That would be very interesting. Williams, pick one, Sergio Perez. He's the perfect blend of pay driver, because he does bring a lot of financial backing, and just being unreal talented. He's got to be top 3 performers this year, I reckon, Sergio Perez, considering where he is in the championship, and he had to have 2 races off because of COVID. He's amazing. The idea that he's out of a seat next year is pretty ridiculous. He so deserves to be in F1. And I think for Williams, he would be an amazing pick. This was actually being kind of rumoured at one stage with George getting replaced by Sergio. And to be fair, I mean, I could have seen that happening, because Sergio's just brings everything you'd want in a racing driver. Pick 2, HAAS. They're gutted they didn't get Sergio. So I'm saying they just go balls to the wall. I think this could be quite a Günther Steiner move. Max Verstappen, throwing all their money, all their budget at Max. You'll see the second driver pick later on. So much talent. The fact that he's available, you can get him. He does come with good backing as well financially. So yes, he would cost a lot, but he's going to bring a few sponsors in there as well. Super Max at HAAS, that's what I'm saying. And something tells me he'd gel really well with Günther. I could really imagine them, you know, not clashing at any stage. Pick 3. Alfa Romeo, I'm saying Charles Leclerc. Bringing him back to the team where he started his F1 career, so he's got experience there. He knows the team. They know him. He's an unreal talent. He's got so much going for him, Charles. He's going to have a long and illustrious career, and I think the potential for Alfa Romeo to get him in would be too good for them to turn down, 100%. Pick 4, Alpha Tauri. I'm going Pierre Gasly, just because he's working so well with them at the minute. He's still very young. He's proven his talent in that car. We've got to think this is going into 2021, so consistency as well is going to be a thing for some teams here. And when you've got a driver performing so well, available, first pick, it's got to be Pierre. Pick 5, Ferrari. It's Lewis Hamilton. I'm saying they would take the opportunity to snap up Lewis. They've got the budget at Ferrari to throw all the money they need at him. That would be a god tier marketing move. Imagine Lewis at Ferrari. Pick 6, Renault, and I'm saying they're re-signing Daniel Ricciardo, because again, he's been on fire for them this year. Works really well with the car. Consistency of driver. He's such a talent, Daniel. Maybe he's slightly doubting his move away from Renault, because they have already kicked on this year. But I think Renault would take that opportunity to retake him. Pick 7, McLaren, Lando Norris. Great talent, very, very young, and from a commercial point of view, worth a lot to McLaren, and will be for years to come. So it makes so much sense for them to keep Lando in their ecosystem. So I'm going with Lando Norris at McLaren again. Pick 8, Aston Martin was Racing Point. I'm saying they're sticking by their guns. I'm saying they're still going with Sebastian Vettel. I still think that give him that car with a more stable rear end, and Seb will do well. He's still got it in him. It was a great drive in Turkey a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, I think they'll stick by their man. Again, marketing-wise, yeah, a lot of eyes are going to be on Aston Martin when Seb's there next year. So I think they'll stick to their guns and keep Seb. Pick 9, Red Bull. Now, their boy Max is gone. He's gone to HAAS. So I'm saying they're going to go for George Russell. Partly just to piss Mercedes off, but also because he is an unreal talent. He's got the most potential of the really, really young rookies who just came in kind of last year. And yeah, immense potential. Would love to see him in that car. Pick 10, Mercedes. Now, again, Lewis is gone. I'm saying they're going to go for Valtteri. Again, consistency. He can deliver over one lap. His race pace isn't quite there, but we know they'd give him a car he can consistently put on pole. He knows the team. He's been at the team for a long time now, and I think it's kind of a no-brainer for them to go for Valtteri. All right, back to Williams. So every single team has one driver now. Williams, for him to be here and not have been picked at this stage, surely they'd go for Carlos Sainz. Surely. Again, Sergio's helping pay the bills, so I reckon they could afford to bring Carlos in. And then you've got two absolutely unreal drivers in Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz at that Williams team. Pick 12, HAAS. Now, of course, they've spent all their money on Max Verstappen, so pay driver. We think Mazepin's going to come in real life, but in this instance, I'm going to say Latifi because he's got actual F1 experience. I'm assuming he brings in a bit more money. I don't know. I have no idea how much Nikita and his dad are bringing into the sport, but I'm assuming that Latifi, so there'd be Safina plastered all over that HAAS as well. With Max Verstappen and Nicholas Latifi, yeah, there would be that kind of significant gap in driver. There'd very much be a first and second driver, but I think that could work really well for HAAS. Pick 13, Alfa Romeo, and I'm saying they keep it consistent with Kimi Räikkönen. He can still deliver. He still seems to enjoy the sport, hence why he's still doing it. He's local to the Sauber/Alfa Romeo factory. Again, he knows the team. I think Charles and Kimi, what a sick lineup that'd be at Alfa Romeo. Pick 14, AlphaTauri. Maybe I'm just a fanboy, but I'm going Alex Albon. I still think he's got a lot to prove in this sport. There's been glimpses of his talent, which is undoubtedly for me there. It's just getting him in a car that he's happy in and consistent in, because exactly the same happened to Pierre. I think Alex and Pierre at AlphaTauri, you'd have two very, very strong drivers with a lot to prove. I think that'd be a great little combination. Plus, of course, the Red Bull tyre ownership is undoubtedly going to, well, it's not going to hinder his chances, is it? Let's just say that. Pick 15, Ferrari. I'm going Mick Schumacher straight in. Come on. There, I said it. I think in F2 he's proven he's got the ability. Ferrari aren't a top team at the moment and won't be into 2021 because the regulations aren't massively changing until 2022, in which case Ferrari may have a chance to bounce back. I think alongside Lewis Hamilton, he'll learn so much. I think that would be a banging little combination. And what a story. Again, God-tier marketing move. A Hamilton and a Schumacher racing together at Ferrari. That would be sick. Pick 16, Renault. And I'm saying I have faith in Esteban Ocon. I think they'll stick with their boy. I think he's, again, shown glimmers this year. He's been very unlucky last kind of couple of races, 2-3 races. I think he's had issues out of his control, really. And yeah, I think Esteban Ocon is French as well. Young lad. Got a lot of time left to bed in, and I think Renault will keep their lineup exactly the same if they could, with Danny Rick and Esteban Ocon. Pick 17 with McLaren. I'm going with Kevin Magnussen. Now we know he's losing his seat. I mean, we don't know for 100% sure, but it's pretty much guaranteed. He's pretty much said, you know, he hasn't got the support to keep him in F1. But I think K-Mag's definitely got the ability. He's, you know, I feel like his best performances have been significantly better than Roman's. Sorry, Roman. And I think K-Mag's got a lot to prove still. You know, he was at McLaren when he first joined Formula One. He got his very, very first and only podium at McLaren in what I think was his first race. I think him and Lando, I think that's a real talented pairing you got there. Pick 18, Aston Martin. Look, Lawrence is going to be sitting there and thinking, no one's picked my son. No one's picked my son. No one's picked my son. So he's going to pick his son, isn't he? Come on, Lance Stroll, Sebastian Vettel, that will be unchanged from what it is actually going to be in real life. Be interested to see how them two compare, really, because, of course, Seb is the more complete driver. Has he proved it this year? No, but do I think he will in Aston Martin? Sure, I do. Of course he will. Come on. Pick 19, Red Bull. And alongside George Russell, I think they're going to go for a stalwart driver in Formula One who doesn't have a seat at the minute and is rumoured to be getting that seat for 2021. I'm going Nico Hülkenberg. He knows his stuff. He knows how to jump into an unfamiliar car and perform straight away after his performances replacing Sergio. And then Lance, that's a team as well. That's in a top car, Russell and Hülkenberg, decent. And then last but by no means least, pick 20, Mercedes. I'm going with Big Stoff. I think they're bringing Stoffel Van Dorn back away from the Formula E team. He's been representing Mercedes in Formula E now for the last couple of years, I think. Obviously was at McLaren and got absolutely whitewashed by Fernando Alonso. I don't think that time at McLaren was representative of his talent. I think Van Dorn's got a lot of ability. Again, he is the reserve driver, I believe, for Mercedes at the moment. We've seen him at a few races kind of hovering around Toto, watching the race. And yeah, I think they give him a chance. Him and Valtteri Bottas, again, Bottas has got the experience. I think that would help Stoff. And I think that, again, that could be a banging pairing. I don't think there's any bad pairings here. I really don't. So that's my 20 driver pick. Unfortunately, Kvyat, Giovinazzi and Grosjean all miss out. But then Schumacher, Van Dorn and Hülkenberg all join the F1 circus. What's the strongest team, do you reckon? I would say, I think first pick Williams with Perez and Sainz. That's formidable. Red Bull with Hülkenberg and Russell. There's a lot of good pairings here. There's a lot. Let me know in the comments below what you think the strongest of any of these pairings would be. And maybe how they'd finish in the driver's title or something like that. Or the constructors, should I say. Thank you again, Jack, for the video idea. Much appreciated. My name's been Tommo, as it typically is. This is the Tommo F1 YouTube channel. Thank you very much, as ever, again, for watching. Like, subscribe, notification bell as well. Before I forget to tell you. Thanks again. Have a good one. Ta-da.